Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm gonna show you how I was able to maintain a top 1% physique while I was working 12-hour night shifts as a receptionist, and how my client did the same while they have a busy full-time job. So I will show every detail what you have to implement on your day-to-day basis to achieve your goals, the confidence and the body you want. So guys, this was me at 2023. When I was working as a receptionist, 12-hour night shifts. I was working from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So that was my shift at that time, and that was my physique. That was the physique I could maintain with that schedule. So basically, my shift was like, and my work like I work 2 days and I get 1 or 2 days free. And that's how my day look like at that time. So I was my sleep and my recovery wasn't optimal, but I will show you how I could still manage everything. So I just wanted to show you that nothing really can be an excuse, not your work, not your schedule. So basically you have to create that identity, and you have to be that person who is relentless and who will still do and execute what it requires to get there. And that's what you have to master in yourself, but I will show everything what you have to do exactly. So first and foremost, of course, you have to focus on what actually matters. We will start with the training. So on your training, you have to focus on the strength, focused and progressive overload, which means you have to build a strong foundation on your body. You can go with like the high reps pumping workouts, because your muscles need real strength. Basically you have to focus on low reps, high intensity, and you have to constantly make progress. So that's why you have to track everything. That's what we do with my clients, and also that's what I do. I have an app where I basically just always count all of my exercise and track all my data, because that's the first step. If you don't track, you won't make progress, because you will just go to the gym and okay, which exercise should I do, and you will just guessing. So that's why you have to make, and you have to adjust a plan. But of course, progressive overload, strength focus. Progressive overload means you can't have the same workout after workout. So in some way you have to make progress, like you have to increase the weight, you have to do with better form, or you have to slower the execution. So basically cleaner technique, and you have to focus on compound lifts, compound exercises. That's what I did. Like I do push-pull legs split, and also that's what I also suggest to my clients, because that's a 3-day split. So you can basically add so you can repeat it basically like push-pull leg rest, push-pull leg. So it of course it depends on your schedule, but usually my clients, at that time I trained 6 days, but usually my clients only can just train like 3 days. So that's why the push-pull leg works the best. So compound exercises, to basically on the push day you have to focus on, for example, I always recommend the machines, because if you are dieting, it will always be more safe and you have to avoid the injuries. So that's why I did free weights in the past, but I don't really recommend, because it requires a lot of attention, and it's not the best if you're dieting. So that's why I'm always make plans with machines to my clients, and currently also myself. But compound exercise, for example, on push days you have to focus on some kind of chest press, which similar to like a barbell bench press, but it can be anything like, but I don't want to be too much details, because you know these things. But yeah, so on the push days you have to focus, your training has to build around strength and those type of exercises, not like just like tricep push downs. So you have to start with some kind of heavy exercise to keep your muscles And on the pull days, for example, rows, pull downs, and on the leg days it can be squats or leg press. Of course, it depends a lot of things, but main focus and intensity over volume. So you have to make sure you are always go with lower reps. That's what of course it depends, but that's what I see myself, and I go with like 4 to 8 reps. That's the best. Of course, on the isolation exercise it can be more. I don't usually go over like 10 reps. For me, that works the best. It only works. It will only works if you have the most clean technique in the exercises. So basically, if you're just swinging and you are doing cheat curls and something like that, it won't work, and you will just get injured. So that's why you have to master the technique at first, and after you can try this technique, basically the lower reps. But at first, of course, you have to make sure you start with higher reps, and that's after that you can go with the lower. But for me and also for my clients, that were the best. Like, we build a real strength, and you can always add the reps, and you can constantly make progressive overload in that way. And less cardio, more steps. So you don't have to focus on the cardio, because there are people who are just rely on the cardio if they want to lose weight. But guys, if you are just focused on the cardio and not focusing on the strengthening, you will just always lose all of your muscles, and you will be just skinny fat, or yeah, of course, maybe you will lose weight, but it's not that kind of weight loss and fat loss what you are chasing. So you have to focus always on the strength in the gym with the training, and you have to add a little bit of cardio, what will help you to burn more calories, but it's never the foundation. And you can basically for the cardio, it can be like I used basically I did more steps on my day, to basically like 8 to 10k steps will be enough. Or if you don't have time, you can add like 15 minutes Stairmaster or treadmill. That's what we usually do with my clients. Basically, when they don't have enough time, we just add like 15 minutes Stairmaster, and with medium speed and high incline, because the cardio, you don't have to do high intensity cardio, because that will just also break down your muscles. So you will always do like a slow and steady cardio. That's the most important, and few movements. So basically, you don't even have to do a lot of exercise. You just have to focus on, like I said before, like for example on the push day, like some kind of chest press, flies, tricep push downs, lateral raise. So you don't have to overcomplicate the process, because that will be the most common thing. Like, okay, but how many exercises should I do? It's not about how many exercises. You have to focus on some kind of exercise where you constantly can make progressive overload, where you can constantly get stronger week after week. You will see that that's the key. You don't have to overcomplicate. Oh, I tried this machine and this magic exercise. So there is no. You have to focus on the basics. That will be the best. You will see that. And of course, my clients and also me, I have workouts basically like 45 to 50 minutes long. So you don't even have to spend hours in the gym, because that's why not so many people start, because they think, oh, I don't have time for myself, and I have to spend hours in the gym to make progress. You don't have to. My workouts, basically my leg days usually like 1 hour, but my push day and pull day are usually like 45 minutes. And guys, don't want to promote myself, but just you can see my physique. That's the physique I could maintain with 45 minutes workout. So I don't think I need more. So it's never about doing more. It's about putting the effort on the right things. and you will see that that will be the key on your training. And with the diet, of course, that will be the one of the, I think it's way more important than the training itself. So basically, proper nutrition. Of course, you have to, if you want to lose weight, and but if you just want to maintain similar body fat like that, you just have to find your maintenance calories, and you have to eat around that, or a little bit slight calorie deficit, because you want to lose a little bit body fat week after week with high protein, because the protein will keep your muscles, of course, and you have to focus on for myself, what I see is like I need more carbs, so basically medium carbs. And if I just go higher with the fat, I get some acnes because of the too much fat. But you have to keep your fat in also in a mid range, because it will help you to regulate your hormones. So you have to focus on the fat also. You can't neglect it, because it will just mess up your hormones. So the most important thing is you have to prioritize the whole foods. For example, what I do and what my clients did, basically potato, sweet potato, rice, beef. I don't usually recommend chicken, but if you like it, you can eat. And that at that time, 3 years ago, I could only eat chicken. Of course, because of my situation, I could just only eat chicken with some vegetables. Currently, I would do in a different way. I don't usually recommend to eat too much vegetables, because it's not the best for your digestion. It will just, for me and what I see on myself, it's just harder to digest. So what you have to focus on is you have to cut out all the processed foods, because it won't be sustainable with your calories. If you have a cheat meal or some kind of processed food, it will just add up a lot of calories, and you won't be in a calorie deficit, and you will, because if you are eat processed foods, it's usually not that kind of food what your body needs, and you will just get hungry and you will get cravings, because your body won't get those vitamins, minerals, micro and macronutrients, what it needs to work in a proper way. So you have to always focus on the proper food, on the whole foods, and that's what we do with my clients, to always focus on those natural foods, what your body actually needs. Like I said before, the lean meats, sweet potato, rice, fruits, and you don't have to eat too much vegetables. I don't usually recommend that, but of course it depends on your lifestyle, on the foods you have. So you can always find a solution for that. So you don't have to really cut out anything, just the processed foods. And meal timing will be very important. I think at that time I don't, because I woke up at that time at around 11 a.m. So very late, because of course I worked to 6 a.m. So I slept around 4 to 5 hours. But meal timing will be very important. If you are on a cut, you have to, I usually focus currently, and some of my clients, to try fasting, because what we do is like we only have 2 meals a day, before and after training, and it will be the best, because until you fast, your body will use fat as main source of energy. And basically why you have to eat before and after training, it's simply because you need some kind of carbohydrates, what your body will use on your trainings, and that's why you have to eat, for example, sweet potato, rice, something like that, before and after training, to basically to give the fuel before the workout, and after you have to refill your glycogen storage with the proper carbohydrates. But throughout the day and until you don't train, if you don't eat and you fast, your body will use the fat as main source of energy. So that's, and you will see that there is a lot of benefits if you do fasting. Basically, your insulin resistance will improve, your blood sugar will be lower, and you will have much more energy, and you will be more focused. At first, it will be uncomfortable because you will feel that in your gut, like you hungry. But after like 1 or 2 weeks, your body will adjust to that, and you will see that you don't even want to have breakfast anymore, because if you have the normal structure like breakfast, lunch, dinner, you will be you will see the difference. Like when I had like breakfast and the normal routine, I will just always tired, exhausted, because after you wake up and you have a meal, you will just slower yourself, because your body have to digest what you eat after you wake up. So there is no, and you can say, okay, but I have physical work or something like that. I also had physical work when I was working in a warehouse, and I still do fasting. And you will see that it's never about, your body will have energy in natural way, and your body will get the energy from fat, so you don't have to worry about how will you have energy. You will see that. So don't worry. And basically meals that easy to make. So the meals take around like 20 to 25 minutes a day. So it can be an excuse to, okay, but I don't have time to cook my meals. If you order a food, it will be like at least 1 hour to get the food. So basically, if you do these meals, it will takes around like I said. So basically, the training and to make your meals, it will be 1 hour from your day, and you will still make amazing progress. So time and your schedule can be an excuse. So you will see that it's not never about that. It's just a limiting beliefs, and you have to focus on the simplicity, which means you don't have to make different type of meals or something like that. You have to focus on the basics. That's what you can keep in the long term, and that's what will be sustainable, to always focus on the things what I said before. And of course, the another important thing will be the sleep, the recovery. What wasn't ideal for me at that time, because as you can see, I could only sleep like 4 to 5 hours, because I got home at like 6 a.m. and I woke up at 11 a.m. because I had to go to the gym because at that time I had breakfast. So because at that time I had a different structure, I didn't fast. But yeah, I went to train like 12 a.m., 12 p.m. and train like to 1. And after I got home, I make my meals, and after that, basically, I have some little bit of rest, and I have to go. I had to go to work, so basically, I didn't have time for anything else. Of course, when I have a free day, basically, I slept a little bit more. But yeah, at that time, my recovery was terrible. So. But as you can see, I could still maintain the physique, because I would do it no matter what, and I stick to the plan. But in general, if you have a busy schedule, at least you have to sleep 7 or 8 hours. That's the minimum, because you have to regulate your hormones, and that's what it requires to build muscle and lose fat efficiently. You will see that, like, so if you just sleep like like me, it will be very hard to gain muscle because okay, I could maintain the physique, but if you are just in the starter phase, it will be basically impossible to gain muscle and or lose fat because your muscles grow when you sleep. Your training just give the stimulus and the diet will just repair and refill your glycogen storage, your muscles. But when you sleep, that's when your muscles actually grow, and that's when you actually recover, and that's when every other process like fat loss, muscle growth happening. So that's why you have to focus on adequate quantity and quality sleep, and also that will give you the energy throughout the day, and also because of this that will helps you regulate your hormones, that will increase your testosterone, and that will gives you the drive what you need in order to make the progress you want. So as you can see, guys, these are the three key fundamentals what you have to master if you want to build and maintain a top 1% physique. So nothing too crazy. You just have to literally, you just have to do the basic stuffs extraordinary time until the results just show up. Yeah, it's easy to say, but everything is connected to one thing, because of course it's never about these things. It just the foundation, like the training, diet, sleep, okay, but you have to focus on the identity itself. What does it mean? So if you're not the person who is capable of doing these things on his everyday basis, on his day-to-day basis, you will never achieve the goals you want. Because if that would be the answer to get the right training and nutrition plan, and you have to know how much time you have to sleep, you would already achieve the physique. You would already have the dream body, but it's not the case. You must embodying that version of yourself who already achieved that goal. You have to constantly act like him. For example, you have to set yourself higher standards. You have to learn how can you stay consistent on the days when it gets hard. Because it's, guys, when I worked as a receptionist, 12-hour night shifts, it was, so I currently I say like, okay, it's easy to stay on track, keep the diet. It's not easy. So you have to learn how can you do these things regardless everything, regardless how tired are you, regardless how exhausted are you, regardless, no matter what life throws at your way, you have to still do these things. That's the key. Not these three things. That's your mindset, your willingness, your basically your willpower. Like you can't rely on your feelings, because if I would just rely on my feelings when I worked here, I would never look like this. So that's why the most important thing is the identity shift. You have to become through the process, through your journey, in that individual who is capable of doing those things every single day, and that's what I did. Of course, what I always trying to highlight, it's this fitness will teach you a lot of things about yourself. How can you control your emotions, your feelings? Because it at first it won't be easy, but guys, it will always worth it, because when you put the energy in yourself and when you invest in yourself, it will always worth it, and it will always pay off. You will see that, and that's why I'm trying to show that you can still achieve amazing results no matter what your circumstances are. And if you are currently just if you currently think like, oh, it can't be me because I have family, I have this and that. These are just all limitations. These are just all beliefs. These are just all obstacles. What you basically you can always overcome all of your situations with the right identity and with the right mindset, because that's why you have to always think in a way like, okay, I have this situation, basically like this busy schedule or something, because everyone will face difficulties along their journey. Everybody will have obstacles in their life. The only thing what will matter is how you approach those situations, and that's why you have to focus on those things what I said before. And you always have to think like, okay, I have this, but the version of me who already achieved the physique I want would do it no matter what. And that's the thing. That's what you have to master in yourself. But I don't want to repeat myself that many times. I just want to show that, guys, it's possible, and you can still achieve the goals you want if you just conquer your mind. But I want to show you one of my clients who did the same basically. He's my client Florian. He joined the program on January, and he was able to lose 4 kilos of fat in just 1 month while working full time at 37 years old. So basically, he's still thought it's very hard or impossible to. And we because he's now in 2 months in the program, he already lost 7 kilos or 8. I think it's 7 or 8 kilos. So as you can see, guys, if you have the right structure, right plan, the guidance, you can still achieve the goals you want. It's all about like you have to change that thing in your mind, and you can't limit yourself anymore. That will be the key. But I will show you that what Florian said about working with me in the first month.
I joined for Adam's coaching program about a month ago, and so far it works quite well. Before that, I always lacked the motivation and struggled to start working out because I never really had a clearly structured routine or proper starting point, which was always quite frustrating and made me stop quickly. But up to now, the new workout routine and the diet both fits perfectly into my current daily life with the job and or social activities, and I really know what to do. I already lost 4 kilograms without being hungry, but I also feel more motivated and with more energy in my daily life. And also the weekly check-ins is really something that keeps me motivated as well. So I'm really looking forward for the next month.
So as you can see, guys, Florian is very motivated because, of course, after the first month, he was able to lose 4 kilos of fat without being hungry, without giving up his lifestyle. It's all about, we started implementing the key habits, as you can see, guys. Of course, on top of that, the weekly check-ins is so important in my program because I always want to make sure, like, I don't just give you the plan. I always checking in with you to basically you have to you are doing the things, because that's the most important thing. Not just like, okay, you have to do this and that. I always want to see that like you actually doing the things what it requires, and we will always have weekly calls every single week. So we will discuss everything, what's going on, how's your week went, and what we should change for the next week, so you can continue to make the progress you want, and we will track everything on an app, basically, so you will always know that. Like, just a sec, I will show you in Kahunas. Basically, So as you can see, guys, everything is on check and everything will be tracked. Florian's starting weight was 115 kilos, and currently he's 107 kilos because he basically, this is the nutrition plan, the workout, and these are the check-ins. So basically you have to, every single week you have to fulfill a check-in, basically like you will get questions, detail from your diet, did you stick to the diet, how you feel, you can always, and you have to upload photos about your current form. So basically we will see every single week how you changed, how you look in the mirror, how you feel in yourself, because these are the most important things. Not only the weight, you have to focus on how you feel, how much energy you have. So the most important things. So basically we are tracking everything, because without tracking you won't make the progress. That's the foundation. And Florian, I'm very proud of him, because he doing everything in a correct way. He executing everything, and that's how can you make the progress, as you can see, guys. And also wanted to show you guys Lila, who was able to lose 14 kilos of fat in just 4 months while working full-time with thyroid conditions. So the doctor said to her, like, it's impossible, or it's very hard to lose weight because of her problems, because of her hormone problems, thyroid. But guys, as you can see, nothing can be an excuse, and that was just only a self-limiting beliefs what was holding her back in the past years. And after we implement everything and we regulated her hormones and we set up a proper nutrition and training plan, that was a transformation in just 4 months. So guys, it's basically nothing can be an excuse. Like I said, it's all about your if you make a decision, you want to make the change, and you are focusing on the solution, you will find it 100%. But I also want to show you that what Lila said about working with me.
Hey guys, my name is Lila Sapo. I'm 27 years old. Before I started working with Adam, I honestly had no idea who to choose as a coach. I spent a lot of time looking around because I really wanted someone who would actually pay attention to me, understand what I'm dealing with, especially with my thyroid condition. I wasn't sure anyone could really help, since nothing I tried before ever worked the way I hoped. But once I started working with Adam, everything just felt different. From day one, he made me feel supported and understood. He didn't just tell me what to do, he listened, checked it on me, and stayed with me through every part of the journey. Whenever I doubted myself or felt stuck, he was there to lift me up and remind me I wasn't doing this alone. Since working with him, I've changed so much, not just on the outside, but deep down as well. I feel stronger and more confident, and for the first time in a long while, I finally feel like I'm doing something that's truly for me. It feels like I've finally become the person I always knew I could be. I just needed the right support and someone who held me accountable in the way I needed. And even with my thyroid issues, I ended up losing 14 kilos in just 4 months. Something I never thought I'd be able to do. To anyone wondering if working with Adam is worth it, I completely understand. I felt the same at the start. I overthought everything and wasn't sure it would actually make a difference. But looking back now, choosing him turned out to be one of the best decisions I've made. Adam's definitely the guy who's there for you.
So, as you can heard, she's very motivated, and that was her best decision, because it's all about, guys, like the doctor and the world will tell you like it's sometimes like you will see that it's almost impossible or not instantly hard to make the change, but it's all about, you will see that like once you start and stop making excuses and stop blaming your external factors, and you are just change your mindset to always want to find how can you make the change, and not why you can't make the change. That's when everything will shift, and that's what shifted with Lila. To she just simply not believed what the doctor said, because it would be just the easy choice to say like, okay, I can't lose, I can make the change because that's the other people, that's what they say to me. But the truth is always what you believe. So you have to believe in your, that's guys, that's the most important thing. You have to believe in yourself. That's that because nothing will matters. If anyone can say anything, if you believe in yourself, you can do it. You will see that that's what it's all about. You have to master your thoughts, and you can never let other people's opinions influence your actions. You always have to find that kind of way of thinking, and that's what we do with my clients, and that's what I do always, and that's how can you be the best version of yourself. And of course want to show Jacob, who went from 66 kilo to 77 kilo in just 6 months. He was very skinny, he had no structure when we started, and after 6 months, as you can see, we built a very good foundation to him. But I will show you what Jacob said about working with me.
Hello, my name is Jacob, and I've been working with Adam for about 6 months now. Transformed my physique from looking like this to looking like this. Since working with Adam, I feel a lot more comfortable in my body. My main struggle was putting on weight, really, because I went to the gym 2 years, saw no progress. As soon as I hopped on with Adam and he sorted me out of like the proper meal plans and proper exercises to put on enough muscle, it really turned my life around. And all I can do is praise Adam, because I wouldn't be here where I was today if I didn't have Adam's assistance. I would definitely highly recommend Adam if he was the same as me, skinny, no plan, no structure.
So guys, I just wanted to show that basically no matter what your starting point, you want to lose weight, either you have a self-limiting belief, or other people say like, oh, you can't make the change, or you want to build muscle, you have a busy schedule. Basically guys, you can always make the change. There is no other option if you have the willingness. Basically there is nothing can be external factors what's holding you back. It's basically just you can only limit yourself. And these people who you see, they are basically never waited to feel ready, because that's what I usually say like, oh, but I wait until my life gets easier or the things will be a little bit better. But guys, you have to realize it's never about having the perfect conditions to start, to waiting to feel ready, because that's feeling what you are chasing will never come. So what do you think? When I worked 12-hour night shifts, I felt ready to go to the gym 6 days a week, to stick to my diet, to focus on everything what actually matters. And these people, what you see, like they felt ready. It's never about to get this feeling. It's all about like you have to realize the version of you who achieved the goals you want. We'll never wait for any permission, for external validation, for the external factors to change the version of you who achieved. just do it like a machine, and that version of you will just execute it no matter what, and that's what you have to master in yourself. You have to break your self-limiting beliefs, because that's what keeps you stuck. Because just think about it, like if you currently look in a mirror, you are not satisfied with the results you have. Basically, it's simply because your past choices that didn't reflect who you want to become, and you will see that, like, and you can feel like, okay, and that's my clients, and in not that, because in the other video, what you can also see, when I was working in a warehouse, I felt like I was trapped in a body that didn't reflect who I really was. So that's when you have to see, like, okay, but maybe I have to act differently. Maybe I have to make different choices on my day to day, because that's what will reflect on your external world. So that's what you have to break in yourself, to break your old habits, your old patterns. Because if you are just waiting for the perfect moment, and the external factors to change, you wait for you have more time, or basically to something happen in outside, you will just run out of the time, and you will see that other people achieve what you want, and you are not, because you are just waiting for something that will never really happen. So guys, as you can see, it's all about having the right mindset, and you have to shift your identity to that level where your actions and habits are fully aligned with your vision. And sometimes you need someone who keeps you accountable in a way you don't even have to guess what your next step should be. So if you are currently not satisfied with your results and you are interested to work with me one-on-one to achieve your goals 100% this year, just book a call with me. I will put the link in the description. Or if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, or feel free to DM me on Instagram, and see you next time.